Definitely. And you all mentioned, I noticed a theme coming up, talking about empowering the teacher and the resources the teacher needs. So let's get very practical here. What resources and tools are out there for teachers who are teaching STEM subjects? Meredith, yeah, I know your center deals with this a lot. Do you want to take that one on?
Yeah, I mean, it's really an amazing time in terms of all the different kinds of resources that are out there. I mean, I think the proliferation of robotics platforms is amazing, right? You have all different kinds of options depending on your school. From the, you guys have a virtual platform, we have the Lego platforms, we have all different kinds of simpler robotics, low-cost robotics. My colleague here at Tufts does the Kibo robot, right, which has no computer at all. So it's a really amazing time, and I think one of the things folks need the most of is time, right? That as schools and districts and teachers are investing in this, they have to think that there's still a lot of moving pieces. It's still really young, and that you need to have time to kind of sort through, what are your financial resources, what are your personnel resources in terms of content knowledge, and really put the time there. We're also seeing just great repositories of information. The National Academy of Engineers launched Link Engineering, which is trying to collect all the resources related to engineering, which of course includes robotics. Teach Engineering is a long-time resource of activities for folks to dive into. We run here at Tufts LegoEngineering.com, which has Lego robotics and other resources there. So there's a lot of pieces. And then we're starting to see more of these STEM certification programs come online, right, which really give you the time to kind of dig in. Because when you're really thinking about this, right, there's a lot of different pieces. There's content that you want to dive into and explore. There's pedagogical knowledge, and then that other pedagogical content knowledge as well. So lots of different places to dig into. And I think it's a big challenge for folks, right? It's not these always these neat packages, but I think we've seen, some of the amazing programs folks like Gary and Aaron have created are really built over time and customized to what the students and districts need.
Yeah, jumping in there, I think a major resource is the professional conferences and meetings, and it doesn't have to be, this big, expensive trip to NSTA. A 5-day trip to Los Angeles or the other side of the country. It could be the local regional meetings, and there's just as much defined in those local meetings as there is in the big national meetings. And really, a lot of it does come from the seminars at those meetings, but also it's in those one-on-one conversations that you have in those meetings and meeting your colleagues. And a lot of the great stuff just happens when you have those casual conversations with your colleagues, maybe from outside your districts. So how do you do this? How do you solve that? And getting new ideas by meeting other people who are trying to solve those same problems.
Yeah, probably the last thing that I would add, and I think they pretty much covered most of the bases, is don't be afraid to be the maker yourself. What I see is a lot, we try to build this into our classes in our school, these lessons, these curriculums, these STEM activities, but the person in charge isn't doing the activities either. And so we have to model the way. And so one of the big things is to go get your hands dirty yourself, craft this time. I always talk with educators, use your professional gut. I know there's a ton of initiatives and there's lots of things that a teacher has to deal with on a daily basis at their district level and state and federal level. But good learning is good learning. And so get in there and get involved. Take a free class on Instructables. I'm taking a class right now. It's a PVC class. And I thought I knew a lot about PVC. I'm learning how to bend and cut PVC in a way that I didn't learn before. And it's free. It doesn't cost me anything but the PVC that I'm ruining myself. Get in there and learn, because it's in those moments is when the light bulb goes off and all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, this would be so perfect for this activity here. Here's how I can spruce up this standard. Here's how I can change the way I teach. So it's not just, in my case, a bald, ugly guy up front talking the whole time. But let's dive into these topics and let's see what kids can do. And let's see what opportunities can come of this. And so get in there. If you've never attended your local Maker Faire, Gary is talking about things locally. These Maker Fairs are loaded with people that have a passion or do this type of work for a living, you should be going in there and walking out with a contact list 30, 40 deep, bringing in experts to your class, learning their ideas, stealing those ideas, and using it to transform your classroom. So it takes a little bit of courage, takes a little bit of confidence in yourself, and then it also requires us as educators and leaders to model and be that way, and don't be afraid to share that with your kids, all the ways in which you fail. That's probably one of the biggest breakthroughs. I always thought I had to have my shiny perfect object at the end to wow the kids, and that didn't work as well as it was as me doing the work along with them, and they got a big kick out of watching me make a mistake, making a wrong cut, dropping a tool, and they go, oh, this is a place that's safe for me to explore these avenues, explore this learning, to see, you know, the answer to the end of the question of what if. What if I try this? What if I go this way? And so sometimes we think we have to buy this kit, we have to buy this package, we have to buy this curriculum. And a lot of times it's just transforming the culture to get in there and go, it's okay to go try and see if the ideas in our head can actually be feasible solutions.
Amazing. Very, very cool. So before I go on, actually, I wanted to add on here that Coder-Z actually is developing an online course for teachers to learn robotics. And we actually already have recorded webinars dealing with a range of professional development topics. So just thought I'd throw that out there, that we also have these resources out there.